Hello, today we are going to take a look at this Motorola DP4800. This is analog digital radio, and we are going to compare it across the old generation DP3600, very well known, and I'm going to show you the main difference, and you are going to see which one is better for you. The main and the most important difference for a lot of people is going to be the antenna port. The DP4800 series go into completely different port. It have a same thread as a SMA, but as you can see there is no center conductor. And this is the antenna. As you can see, there is also not a center conductor. And you basically stuck with the Motorola OEM. You can use the stubby one, you can use the quarter wavelength, and that's all. So plugging external antenna is possible. Under that flap there is a service port that is done for doing alignment and testing the device on the analyzer, but it is a not convenient option and you are not going to use this inside of your car or in the field because it's a very bad option. But from technical point of view, someone might tell you, yeah, you can connect, yes, you can connect external antenna, but the plug is very expensive and the adapter is quite fragile. On the other hand, the DP3600, we've got a standard SMA thread. We can plug any antenna. You can very easily go from this to the rooftop antenna or to the car antenna. So that radio is definitely going to be a better option for a field day, or if you are in general an amateur radio user. On the side we've got the programming and the accessory port. As you can see, they are looking very close, and that's a good thing because the programming cable from the DP3600 series is 100% compatible with the new one, and the only difference is that connector. You might ask yourself why it's looking that way, why it's quite interesting. Here we do not have. This is a speaker microphone connector for the external antenna. If you've got a public safety microphone, they can have a SMA port on top. So if a police officer is wearing the speaker microphone on their shoulder, they can have the antenna elevated and the radio can be safely on their back and it's not going to poke them. And if they are in car, the antenna have higher elevation point near to your window and it's going to improve your range. So the older one was better. They put a fake hole, so if you've got that microphone, it will still be possible to be plugged in and used as a general microphone, but you will not be able to route the antenna. Next thing is the battery, and the battery is not compatible. As you can see on the old one, the battery go all the way. On the new one is ending much sooner. It have different shape and you cannot reuse it. But there is one good thing, and you can reuse the same charger. So if you've got a charger for the DP3600, you can use it and you can stuff your new radio here and recharge it without any problem, so no worries about the charger. Another very important thing is on top of your radio, and this is still going to be for some people a good thing, for another people that's going to be a bad one. If you take a look, we do not have channel numbers. Here we've got the channel numbers, here we do not have. That's because this is a rotary encoder. You can rotate it 360 degrees, where here, as you can see, you cannot do that. This is a fixed 16 channel switch. This can be good or this can be bad. I very enjoy having a fixed switch. That's because when I'm doing work, when I'm doing professional things, I tend to switch the channel so I do not accidentally PTT and I'm in a read-only mode. So when I'm going accidentally bump on the PTT, I'm not going to open call on the dispatch, but I'm going to hear everything. And if I want to make a contact, I go one channel back and I've got the same channel, but with a PTT enable. So that's going to be, for me, that was a downgrade, but for you, that will most likely be an upgrade, because you can go beyond 16 channel in the one zone, and you can program as many as you can in the CPS, and you are just going to be rotating endless to get the correct one. If we take a look at the front, we can see a major difference. We've got a nice color screen. The colors are pretty washed up, but that's absolutely no problem. But you can clearly see that it's bigger, and the bigger is the better, because when you are typing your message or you are receiving a message, that's going to help you out with reading or typing. On that one, to be honest, it was extremely painful. For some people, that is not going to be absolutely any problem, because many of radios from Motorola have a text-to-speech, so the synthesizer can read your message in a human digital voice. So it might be a not problem for some people, but for me, having a larger screen is an extremely good option. The next thing, we've got the programmable keys. I love the PTT. As you can see, it's being recessed. It's quite hidden, so accidentally bumping is not a problem. It's also bigger, so pressing it with glove is absolutely not a problem. Here you can take a look at the screen. So for example, with a Impress battery install, we can go into utilities, we can go to radio info, battery info, and for example, we can read the battery service live. That's a very good option. You know when the battery is going to die or start losing capacity. Those two radios are fully compatible, both in terms of voice and the messaging. So we can place a call for a radio ID. I believe that was ID1. And let me try to PTT. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, radio check. As you can see, it's working perfect. And the second way, sorry, I've got the PTT assigned to the dispatch. We have to go into the contacts, manual dial. Which one radio ID does it have? This radio should have ID of a 100. Let's type it, press PTT, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, radio check, testing. So as you can see, placing call between those two generations have absolutely no problem. In terms of sending message, they are also working in both way. So we can go from old one we would like to write a test. Okay, send to the manual die radio 100, and that's the one. And as you can see, it's nicely arrived. Of course, it's going to work other way around, but this is how it looks like. So we've got our contacts, we've got scan, our zone, where, as I told you, we can have over 16 channels. We've got our messages. We can predefine the quick text messages by the CPS. We've got the drafts. We've got our call log. We can see what we missed. Job tickets. This is something quite interesting for a workplace. If we are like a maintenance, someone from the dispatch can send us request to go into some place and do something, and we can mark that as done and retransmit back without like placing a real call, and the dispatch know, for example, if we are security or we are some sort of cleaning, we can mark that we go into that place and we clean that up. So that was the most important changes from the technical point of view. Of course, there is a much more with a completely newer and redesigned firmware. Quick recap, we've got the only Motorola antenna, we've got a 360-degree rotational encoder, so we've got over 16 channels in one zone. We do not have external antenna on the speaker microphone. We've got a different battery. Those are the most important changes. Programming cable stay the same. Your charger stay the same. So, in my opinion, that's all what you would have to know. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you find it interesting. See you next time, and bye bye.